I want to bring in Myla Morales. She's a former makeup artist for Diddy and also Cassie Ventura, working for Diddy for years and eventually becoming a friend of Cassie's. In 2010, Myla alleges that she heard Cassie being physically abused and was a witness to the aftermath of the alleged attack. She joins me now. Myla, thank you so much for being here. This has been, for so many people, illuminating, infuriating, troubling, devastating. You can go down the list of things, but it's so difficult to speak about.
I know.
Being a witness of anything. Tell me how you must be feeling just knowing that this has even come to light.
Well, I have kept this secret for like 14 years. I mean, the first time I experienced it was 2010. And I was in the hotel room when Puff came in, and I had no idea Cassie left. And when I woke up, I just saw his presence come into the room. They went into the bedroom and shut the door, and all I could hear is screaming and yelling and whatever was going on in there, I don't know. But all I could think of was to grab Cassie's things and start packing it up and just getting her out to safety and bringing her to my house. So that's kind of like what transpired from that night. And once she came out of the room, she was badly, beaten.
Oh my God. What did her physical appearance look like?
I mean, it was knots on her head, black eye, busted lip, but a lot of knots all over her head.
Did she go to the police at that point or anything?
No, we didn't know what to do at that point because, Puffy is a very powerful person and we were quite terrified. So I just, brought her to my house, and my friend, who is a doctor, I called her, and thank God she was in town because we didn't know what to do. And she treated her for, just to make sure she didn't have a concussion or anything like that. But it was really it was painful to see Cassie like that because she's such a beautiful human being. And for a man to just hurt any sort of woman or child or animal, it doesn't matter. But Cass is a good friend of mine. And I just felt, I just didn't know what to do. I felt like, I don't even know how to describe how I felt that night.
Did she describe how she was feeling about having that happen? Did you get a sense that this was the first time?
It didn't feel like it. Because it wasn't, it was almost like, I feel like she might have been embarrassed that happened in front of me.
But
the entertainment industry often showcases talent, fame, and fortune, but it also has a darker side. Recent allegations against Scene Diddy comms have brought serious concerns about abuse of power and exploitation to light. One of the most shocking accusations comes from R&B legend Mary J. Blige, who has spoken out about the horrific experiences she claims Diddy subjected her to during her music career.
The incident that you're talking about even predates what we saw in this horrific video from a hotel floor. When that video came out, what did it feel like knowing that had now been public?
No, I was devastated when I saw that video because it was like I witnessed what could have happened in that room and more, So that was a hallway incident. Who knows what happened, in that room when I was outside of there. And I was devastated. Actually, I've been devastated since the court cases came out and how, he mistreated Cassie.
He has settled the suit involving her specifically, but there are others, and there are sources that are telling CNN that the majority of the people currently suing Diddy are actually speaking to federal investigators, which indicates the Justice Department might be moving close to an indictment. So do you think that Cassie would testify against him if federal investigators asked her to or compelled her to?
I'm really not sure. Like I said, I can't speak for Cass, but I hope she does. I hope she does, because she's the only one that would know all the information that's gone on over the years. So,
Mila, why do you think? I mean, we've heard certainly, you know, a lot of people in the industry condemn Diddy for what they saw on that video, but it hasn't been a universal outcry within the industry specifically. Why do you think that is?
Because it's a very small industry, and that we all know each other, and I feel like people are afraid to like speak up about it. And the only reason why I am is because I'm a friend of Cass's, and I really care about her very much so. And I'm outraged and very, very like heartbroken about like how he's been treating her. It just it breaks my heart, and I just can't imagine like a man treating a woman that way, and not just a woman, but a friend of mine that I've known since she was a teenager. So, you know, I've known Cassie before all of this. So it disgusts me.
I can only imagine, of all the women that you have worked with and people who are eager to be in the industry, what they are exposed to, how they could be exploited and abused in a variety of ways. And that's why the idea that not hearing so many more people speak up is very frustrating and hurtful for so many people.
It is frustrating and hurtful, even
yeah.
for me, because I know what goes on behind the scenes, and I just can't imagine why nobody's speaking up. I mean, everyone's just hush hush and quiet. I don't know, maybe they're scared. I mean, we've all been scared, so, you know.
I hope this is a turning point, Mila Morales.
I think so.
I really hope it is. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
I hope so. Thank you so much, Laura, for having me.
Mary J. Blige, known for her candidness about struggles with addiction and personal challenges, is now speaking out about the darker side of her early career. While Diddy has been celebrated for shaping the careers of many artists, recent allegations suggest a troubling pattern of manipulation, coercion, and abuse, particularly involving young female performers.
The book details some very disturbing incidents of physical abuse that Sean Diddy Combs inflicted on his former partner, Kim Potter. In addition to his former partner's February revelations, a man named Rodney Little Rod Jones alleges in a federal suit that Sean Combs and his associates engaged in serious illegal activities. Jones had worked as a producer on Sean Combs' latest album, but also lived and traveled with him from September 2022 to November 2023. He alleges that during that time, he was sexually harassed by Sean Combs, pressured to engage in sexual acts, forced to procure sex workers for Diddy, and then he also claims that he witnessed Combs giving drinks laced with drugs to young people at a few parties. The suit further claims that Combs required Jones to quote-unquote record him constantly, which resulted in Jones obtaining hours of footage in which Sean Combs and his staff allegedly engaged in these criminal acts. Screenshots of these video clips were included in the civil suit, described as being from parties in which underage children and girls and sex workers were allegedly present. Jones also alleges that Sean Combs was attempting to groom him into having a sexual relationship with him. The lawsuit further claims that Sean Combs sexually harassed and assaulted Jones while he lived with Combs at their home in Florida, Los Angeles, and New York, as well as on a yacht that Combs had rented in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Well, following these shocking and grave allegations, several celebrities have now started distancing themselves from the powerful music mogul and deleting all the social media posts amid Diddy's arrest. Megan Fox, in fact, has deleted all her posts on Instagram and has wiped her X, formerly Twitter account, leaving fans speculating that it just might be connected to the recent arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. In fact, Usher, who had lived with Diddy as a teenager, had recently deleted his posts on X because in a resurfaced interview from the Howard Stern show, Usher had then described witnessing quote-unquote very curious things while he was living with Diddy. He said, and I quote, that I got a chance to see some things. I don't know if I could indulge and even understand what I was looking at. Usher further relieved during the interview that he was privy to a lot of things that he felt uncomfortable with. The sudden deletion of all of these social media posts have now fueled fan speculation online. Given the seriousness of the allegations, Sean Combs' legal battle is far from over, with the singer not coming home anytime soon. Diddy's act bad charge has now landed him in serious trouble. Combs, who remains in federal custody after being denied bail, has been accused of attempting to cover up the evidence of these alleged abuses.
According to Mary J. Blige, Diddy often put her in situations where she felt trapped, using her ambition and drive for success against her. She alleged that he made it clear her career could end if she didn't meet his demands. Blige's story isn't isolated. Several women connected to Diddy's circle have shared similar accounts of abuse, manipulation, emotional trauma, and exploitation.
Free, who was a victim of Sean Carter. Mary J. Blige, who was a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah.
In September 2024, Diddy was accused of coercion and abuse to protect his image and conceal his actions. These allegations have led to major lawsuits and criminal investigations, gaining widespread attention.
Tell me about that run-in that you and Suge had with Diddy in New York.
Yeah, at the Tunnel. I think it was at the Tunnel. I keep trying to think of the name of that club, but that was after the Source Awards. After, if I can recall, I think after we were at the Source Awards, we went to the after party, and I think it was a Tunnel, and we was in that partying, and Suge somehow we went behind this, whether it was the back, like coming to the back of the stage. I just know there was like more like a VIP area. Nobody was in that area, but myself, Suge, Puffy, and Puffy's security guard, and they exchanged some words, but as I said before, it wasn't anything like where Puffy was like acting saucy or anything like that. Suge kind of had his hand on his shoulder, and I stepped in between them, and when it looked like he was going to say something, I kind of pushed him, a little in between from Suge and between Puffy and myself. I got in between them, and it was myself, Suge, and Puffy security.
Was it about to go bad?
Nah, man, nah, I mean, I think I was reacting because, you know what I mean? Like, I'm with Suge and I'm his son, and don't talk to my daddy like that, so to say. But I never felt, in New York, I never felt in danger or felt that we had anything to worry about. Never.
And this is the same Social Awards where Suge, he got on stage and he took shots at Diddy, right? And you was on stage too, right?
Yeah, I think this was after the Source Awards where he got on stage and he said, if y'all don't want to be around the dancers, the producers dancing all in your videos, come to Death Row. Yeah. Behind stage on that.
And when y'all was in New York for that award show, y'all actually met up with Misa, right?
Nah, we didn't meet up with nobody. They came to us. Like I told you, Suge was like the president, bro. Like, that was the man that was moving around with hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and $100,000, $200,000 in a briefcase private jets at that time. So, he was just a magnet, you know what I mean? And Suge would come. I wish I could remember the name of the hotel, but it was a penthouse hotel, big suite. And when Misa and them came, they came with, it's probably 6 or 7 girls, maybe more than that. But I can remember in that bunch was Mary, Misa, and either Devontae, baby mama, KC's baby mama, one of the Jodeci guys. Like, all of them used to hang in a clique real tight together. And to me, it's just like the same shit that go on. Like right now, it was kind of no different. It was just.
Mary J. Blige's revelations come as Diddy faces multiple legal battles, including a high-profile lawsuit from Cassie Ventura, his former girlfriend and collaborator. Filed in November 2023, the lawsuit accused Diddy of manipulating and abusing her over a decade, starting when she was 19. While the case was settled for an undisclosed amount, it revealed a troubling pattern of behavior that aligns with Blige's recent claims.
into where, at that time, Suge was the man. Let's come into his room and to chill with him. And we partied in the room, drink, big ass room. So yeah, it was that time, it was big during that time, so I'm saying.
And all they baby mamas was ready to get it popping.
Yeah, man, I ain't meet a baby mama that wasn't ready to go when Suge was ready. Like, you better watch Suge. As close as I was to him, I watched him. I am not leaving my baby mama in the room with that nigga. I never, not the only, not even the one I don't like, or the one that don't like me. Cause that's how that nigga move. There is no, oh, I'm not gonna mess with her. I mean, that's how he got with Miss LA.
Oh, he got with her the same way, yo?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That was his boy Drake. I'm sure it was a little, I think he just fell in love with the sneaky link. He was in jail. It was easy.
And you just being around Suge, you was knocking down some of the females too.
You want me to say with Mary? You want me to say with Mary though? Stop this dialogue. I'm not finna get into that. I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. My music going too good. I don't want no problems. But I mean, nothing I said was a lie. And all of that was during that same time. And this right here is definitely like proof. So we don't know. It might be some pictures to what I've already said that's coming forward soon. But all those people was at the table because I remember a photographer being there as well. I just don't know. You don't know what Suge have and what he don't have.
Oh man, if that picture of you and Mary J come out, just y'all just being in the same space.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think that's worth? I get that picture coming back. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no problems though. Even when I said it and I'll say it again, I kind of said it because I caught a lot of flack the way that I said it and some of the graphical things that I shared, being funny. But as I said before, no disrespect. Mary's a legend. It was nothing to take nothing from it. And then like even people have been reposting the stuff, and I've been getting inboxes like, Mary raped you, you should sue her, and da 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 da. I didn't say any of those things. When I mentioned those things, that wasn't even what that story was about. I was just kind of like talking out my ass, telling the truth. When I say talking out my ass, because I know y'all be checking everything. Everything that I said was factual, but I think everything is about being respectful, and I said some in a disrespectful way, but y'all get the gist of it. And if you didn't, go get my books, Stranded on Death Row.
The public statements from Mary J. Blige, Cassie Ventura, and other individuals have revealed troubling allegations about the environment at Bad Boy Records. Joy Dickerson has alleged misconduct and coercion during the early 1990s while working on a music video project with Diddy. Additionally, an unnamed woman has come forward with claims of mistreatment when she was 17 years old. These accounts add to the growing concerns surrounding Diddy's behavior in and beyond the music industry.
3 new male accusers now say Sean Diddy Combs sexually assaulted them, according to civil lawsuits filed today in New York. The lawsuits, filed anonymously, allege a pattern of conduct similar to what other Combs accusers have alleged, saying that Combs would invite them for a meeting, they would have a drink, get woozy, and then wake up to Combs raping them. Combs' attorneys calling the new accusations lies, denying Combs ever sexually assaulted anyone. Our senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky joins us now for more. So tell us about these new civil lawsuits that have been filed, and is this the first time that the accusers have actually been men? I mean, we did hear from one accuser in the past couple of weeks, right, Aaron? So it seems like more men are coming forward.
These aren't the first men to accuse Sean Combs of sexual assault, but they are coming forward as a trio filed by a plaintiff's attorney named Thomas Giuffre, who says he had more than 60 people come to him to ask about suing Sean Combs, and he only filed these 3 that he says he was able to vet. He says they followed a pattern of people coming into Sean Combs's orbit in one way or another, being plied with a spiked alcoholic drink and then waking up to having Combs sexually assault them. Now, Combs, as you mentioned, Kira, has denied sexually assaulting anyone, has called these new accusers liars. One of the men worked for Combs, and he says that he went to a meeting arranged at a hotel where Combs was saying to talk about some kind of monetary payment for jobs that he never got paid for. That's when he says he was attacked.
We will follow all the details and all the investigations because they don't seem to be going away. Just the lawsuits continued to grow. Investigative correspondent Aaron Kontersky. Thank you, Aaron.
The controversy surrounding Diddy extends beyond allegations of abuse. He has also faced accusations of violent behavior, including a 1999 shooting incident at Club New York in Manhattan. Diddy was arrested and charged with multiple counts of illegal gun possession, but was later acquitted. The incident raised significant concerns about his actions and judgment.
Get right to it then. To be what you were doing in your team, y'all had to have seen some evil shit, like some pretty fucked up shit coming from niggas with money, I'm assuming.
Well, you see that from niggas who don't have money also.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you see a lot of shit. It is what it is.
So, I have to ask you then, because sometimes when you see like, let's say a Puff, he might have a manager who might be an enabler, like to help him get to her, like an R. Kelly, whoever. Then you have their bodyguards or security unit who might allow some things to take place. Might see it and just, hey, we're going to just allow it because, hey, it's the essence. What was your mentality when it comes to the enablers or the people that allow, or just what, how did you approach a situation that you're like, I don't know about that?
I don't know what you mean by that question. That was such a broad and asinine ass question that it's hard to answer something like that.
Let me be more direct. Be
direct, bro.
Let me be more direct.
Yeah.
Were you an enabler, or did you allow or see stuff that you're like, man, I ain't gonna jump in that?
Bro,
go ahead.
Criminals do crimes with criminals. I've never been a criminal. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So now, if you're looking to answer something about Puff, Puff ain't the Puff. Puff had different phases of his life that y'all don't understand. And let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. You understand? First, you got Puff Daddy, who had Daddy's house and the parties and things like that. Then you had Puff. You understand? Then you had Diddy. Then you had Brother Love, and then Love. I had Puff around the stage when he was Puff Daddy and Puff and some of Diddy. Not the new Diddy that they gave the diddler and everything like that. So he ain't the guy, he wasn't the guy that y'all see now back then when he was in Harlem. You understand? He was the guy that our crew chased down the street because he was trying to be a part of it, and he ran. You understand? We brought him back, beat the shit out of him, hit him in the head with cake, spoon, with champagne and all the other shit like that. He was wanted to be a part of us. He was the one who used to beg, don't go to the party, please, please, I'm on my way. I'm on my way, so he could walk in the club with us. You understand? So to answer that question, bruh, you're not doing nothing that's going to cost my livelihood. You understand?
The impact of these allegations has been significant. Diddy's once shining reputation as a successful entrepreneur, philanthropist, and music mogul is now tainted by these serious claims. Public perception of him has shifted, with many questioning how such behavior could have gone unchecked for so long in an industry known for its glamour and success.
You're not going to do anything in front of me to cost my livelihood. You understand? Now, have I seen some shit? I seen a dude come up in the club and blow somebody's head off. I see the smoke running through the crowd trying to get to the lights. You understand? At a New Year's Eve party. So now I see this guy laying on the ground with his head tore down to the white meat. Did I know who did it? No. Did somebody tell me it's about to happen? Yes, they did. Yo, Gene, somebody got a gun in here. No, they didn't. We searched everybody. He came through the back door of the kitchen. You understand?
Yeah.
Because it was a restaurant that was giving a party.
Yeah.
The guy came through the back. I run and turn on the light. As soon as I hit the light switch, you see, pow, and the gun smoke. Dude ran. That's the kind of crazy shit we see. You see girls having sex in the bathroom. That's crazy shit. You grab them with the guys and you throw them out the club. You understand?
Yeah.
So
it gets like that.
Right.
I have to ask real quick. Diddy's pops. I saw you. There was you had mentioned that as far as Diddy's pops, his dad was murdered.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that I didn't know. Did you know of his pops?
I didn't know of his pop. I ain't know jack shit about his pops. I learned from his pops from one of the biggest gangsters in Harlem, New York Freddie. Right? The police said they went to New York Freddie house in Mount Vernon, and he had stacks of $100 bills 6 feet high in the whole basement. That's how much money he had. He was the one who started Russell Simmons. They won't tell y'all this story. He was the one who started Russell Simmons and them into the music business because he had a record label first that Russell Simmons used to work for. So now New York Freddie want to talk to Big Gene. One of his lieutenants back in the day, if you can see his story, his name was Omar. Omar was our OG from 112th Street, 114th Street. They used to come around with us. They used to love the food I used to cook because I'm a hell of a cook. You know what I'm saying? So now Omar said, yo, New York Freddie want to talk to you, Gene. I told him he used to bodyguard Puff because he want to talk to Puff and tell Puff the real story about his father. So I said, yeah, all right. So I'm like, New York Freddie. I knew my history. I knew what New York Freddie was about.
For Mary J. Blige, recounting these experiences is clearly painful. She has described the emotional toll of the abuse and manipulation, expressing how it left her feeling powerless and trapped in a toxic environment. Despite the damage, Blige has come out stronger, using her music as a source of healing and empowerment. Her resilience and bravery in speaking out have earned her respect from fans and fellow artists alike.
According to your lawsuit, you were hired by a security firm to work security at one of the infamous white parties that was thrown by Sean Combs in the Hamptons. What was that experience like?
At first, he was incredibly friendly, very gracious.
So you had a friendly chat, and then, according to your lawsuit, at some point later in the night, Sean Combs himself offered you a drink. This didn't come from staff or someone holding a tray of drinks. It came from him directly.
Correct. The first drink started to have some effect on me, and I just thought, wow, these are really strong drinks. It wasn't until the second drink, and it was already too late, that I realized that there was something wrong with the drinks. Sadly, Sean Combs was waiting in the wings. He was watching from some sort of vantage point. And once I was in a helpless position and he was sure that he was in a position of power, then he took advantage of the situation.
You allege that you were forcibly pushed into an SUV by Sean Combs. That act alone, according to your lawsuit, left you in considerable pain. And then once inside the vehicle, your lawsuit says plaintiff was held down by Combs, who overpowered him while he struggled to escape due to the effects of the drugs in his system. And it goes on to say that he sodomized you.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop. It was incredibly painful. And he was acting like it was nothing. And he seemed to be disconnected from it. It was abusive beyond belief.
All right, CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister, who's doing really amazing reporting on this subject, is here with your exclusive. What was it like to sit down with this man?
You know, John, this was the first time that he has told anyone other than his attorneys this story. He, as you see, we concealed his identity. He filed his lawsuit back in October as a John Doe. He says that he wants to keep his anonymity because he wants to keep some semblance of his life private. But that's a difficult thing to do, to sit down and tell your story to a stranger as a journalist. So I asked him, why now? Why are you coming forward now? And he said that he did not know that there were other accusers of Sean Combs out there. He only found out from seeing news reports. And there was one report he saw that there is somebody.
The ongoing legal battles and investigations into Diddy's conduct are far from over. In March 2024, the Department of Homeland Security raided several of his residences as part of an ongoing investigation. These raids, combined with the growing number of lawsuits against him, have raised serious questions about the full extent of his involvement in these alleged crimes.
That they were 9 years old when they say that they were abused by Sean Combs. And this John Doe that I sat down with, he said, if a 9-year-old could do it, then I could do it. And it made him feel like he wished that he spoke out before because he could have prevented children from allegedly being abused. Now, as I said, this lawsuit was initially filed back in October of this year. So these claims are not new, but this is the first time that he sat down. In fact, John, this is the first time that any accuser of Sean Combs has sat down with the media for an interview. Now, I want to play you a bit more of what he told me about these allegations, what he says happened that night in 2007. But I do want to warn our viewers that what he says is graphic and disturbing.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop. It was incredibly painful. And he was acting like it was nothing. And he seemed to be disconnected from it. It was abusive beyond belief.
Now, he says that not a day has gone by where he hasn't thought about this. He said that when something like this happens to you, which is, of course, his allegation that he was drugged and sodomized by Sean Combs back in 2007, he says that it impacts every part of your life. He says that he has not been able to carry on with relationships. He says that he did not tell his wife at the time, who he was married to when this allegedly happened to him. He hasn't told family members or coworkers. And again, that is one of the big reasons why he wants to remain anonymous.
Incredible to hear him tell this story. All right, Elizabeth Wagmeister, thank you very much. Sarah.
All right, joining us now, CNN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney Joey Jackson to discuss more about this. All right, first of all, this is a civil lawsuit. Yes. It is not part of the criminal prosecution, but in hearing this, and now that he is coming out to speak, could it be?
So we'll see. There's a lot that has to be unpacked, right? The first thing is remember, Sarah, that this was an amended complaint. Why do I say that, and why is that significant? It's significant because initially when it was filed in October, there was the indication that it happened in 2007, right? Learning, however, that P. Diddy was in St. Tropez then, so it could not have happened then. So it was amended to include, right, the year after, okay? That's a problem. There was also the indication initially that, right, he wasn't married, and now we're learning he is. Why do I say that? Because every case turns on its facts. So if you're going to determine, right, civil, it's a civil case, it involves monetary damages, not criminal, you're going to assess the credibility of it. Now, attorneys for, of course, P. Diddy are going to have a field day with that, of course, because when you sit down with your lawyer, you verify. Your lawyer doesn't say, oh, that's what happened. Okay. You verify it. You vet it. You ensure that it's factually accurate. And so, therefore, I think those two distinctions are going to be very important. Would you have not known that you were married at this time? Would you have not known? Should you have shared it with your spouse? Potentially not. It's embarrassing.
As the investigation continues, the focus is on the women who have bravely shared their stories. Their courage has sparked a wider conversation about power, exploitation, and abuse in the entertainment industry. The #MeToo movement has already shed light on these issues, and with figures like Mary J. Blige speaking out, the discussion is growing stronger.